Jennifer Anniston jumping into politics, something we don't normally hear from her, but then again, she doesn't necessarily feel attacked the way that she did with the words from J.D. Vance, the Republican running mate of Donald Trump. And there's a clip that has resurfaced since he was named Donald Trump's running mate, since the RNC, that has really been passed around on the internet a lot, and I think that's why this came to Jennifer Aniston's attention. Here is the clip. It's from 2021 when he was just a senator, not the running mate of Donald Trump. And he was on with Tucker Carlson. And here's what he had to say about who's running the Democratic Party.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable, too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
Before we get into Jennifer Aniston's response to that, that is a disgusting thing to say. I'm sorry. Forget about politics.
How is it that people who don't have children don't have a stake in the country? Just on its face, that statement makes no sense.
He threw Pete Buttigieg in as a cat lady, number one. This is before he had his kids, but he was going through something at the time with adoption. But the idea that if you don't have a child, you're automatically miserable and taking the country down a path feels it's insane. Yeah. I mean, it's just an insane comment. Jennifer Aniston, I'm sorry.
Yes, no, exactly. I'm agreeing with you. And Jennifer Aniston feels maybe even stronger than we do because this is what she said. And again, Jennifer Aniston's not someone who's usually out there even endorsing anyone. She doesn't get into politics, but here's what she had to say. I truly can't believe this is coming from a potential VP of the United States. All I can say is, Mr. Vance, I pray that your daughter is fortunate enough to bear children of her own one day. I hope she will not need to turn to IVF as a second option, because you are trying to take that away from her, too.
I have a problem with that statement.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's referring to there was a law that he had signed.
Right.
And
I agree with her on that point.
Right.
The problem I have is she's almost conceding the childless comment. That, yes, it's really...
she's conceding the fact that, right, she's not attacking the thing that we were just saying.
Exactly.
Right.
She's talking about people who are trying to have kids but can't. If you can't or don't want, it doesn't make you a lesser person. Which he seems to be saying.
We know back in 2016 that Jennifer Aniston made it clear that she had her own IVF issues, which is why she's deciding to speak out on this. Jennifer Aniston is not a very political celebrity at all. So you know she's pissed if she's deciding to pick a fight with J.D. Vance. And while we've seen so many celebrities come out in support of Kamala Harris these past few days, we haven't seen that many, particularly A-list status, who are going straight after the opposition, like J.D. Vance. And it's interesting to just see her throwing her hat in the ring right now.
Forget about politics. And by the way, let's not be stupid here. There are plenty of people who are Republicans, who are supporting Donald Trump, who don't have children.
Of course.
So how do they feel about that statement?
No, listen, I agree.
How would they, if you're someone who's voting for Donald Trump and his running mate is saying something like this, how do you
remember
that?
But here's the thing.
I know
it was before, and that's the thing, and that's what's going on with social media right now. That's what's going on with the Democrats right now. Is they are not just vetting, what people are doing today. They're looking at all their social media for this very thing. I know
it's just such an offensive statement.
It's so offensive
about who has a stake in the country.
And when I was saying this is not political, I mean that for exactly what you were saying.
Right.
That there are plenty of Republicans, plenty of people who support Donald Trump who don't have kids. And that doesn't mean you're out of the game. And it doesn't mean you're miserable.
No, not the J.D. Vance.
In fact, there are people with kids who are miserable.
I know.
So
I hear from them all day.
Hey, what's up? It's Wiz in Tampa, Florida. Obviously, when you look at Vance's comments in the whole, I think, as you guys said, it's beyond politics at this point. There's a lot of women who can't have kids. Obviously, Jennifer, it hits home for her because she actually tried, like you said. And there's people who choose not to have kids, whether it's for their career or whatever. But I don't think that makes you less of a woman or a miserable woman or like a threat to society. I think that those comments are just really disgusting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting if he has a change of heart or if he answers to that at all. If anyone even questions.
I bet he does. Well, somebody's going to question it. I mean, if he debates, somebody's going to ask that question.
Yes.
Somebody will absolutely ask that question.